you ready? You can be honest with me.
Yeah,
Promise I won't.
completely honest. You know,
We love feedback, anything that will help let us know what to help you guys with. So, you ready? Wait a minute.
Applications.
Applications.
Okay.
The marketplace is kind of scarce, so.
Does anybody know how many applications are in the marketplace currently?
Roughly about 65,000.
A little bit higher.
250,000.
A little bit lower.
Right?
There's just over 90,000 right now. And if you go back to December 1st, they had 30,000. So if you do the math, you know, about 6 months later, they've grown, you know, they've tripled actually what they had. So their plans are by this time next year, Windows will have more apps than Android and Apple. They have huge app development going on, both in Nokia and in Microsoft. So you're going to see that really come about even this summer. We're going to attack that 20% that we don't have, that Android and Apple do have. So you're going to see a lot of those apps come through, and then we're going to focus on some that are specialty from Windows. You know, when that app comes out and everybody loves it, whether it's Draw Something or Words with Friends, that's what they're going to start attacking. It's like, you know, you can only get that app on Windows, and then it'll go elsewhere. So we're just in that transition phase. You have to remember that this operating system is only a year and a half in. If you remember where Apple was a year and a half in, where Android was a year and a half in, you know, we're sitting pretty. We're in a really good spot. We have Windows 8 coming out in a couple months. It's going to be called Apollo. That's going to happen in the fall. So, you know, really some good times ahead.
Even to a lot of the top recommended apps, the ones that are missing, they already have 90% of the top apps. The other 10% are, maybe like Instagram, Draw Something. They're actually in discussion. They're actually took everybody's feedback and said, all right, well, we need this app, this app, and this app. So they're sitting down, and whether they're in the development stage right now or discussing, they are still listening. So that's going to be a big thing when all these things come through. So the development team is on top of it. They're some of the smartest, awesome people. So you guys just wait. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Do you want to control this?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get started. I wish you guys had a phone that we could kind of go over as you guys are using it. But the slideshow gives you a pretty good idea. We can even pass one of our phones around towards the middle, just so you guys can familiarize yourselves with the operating system.
And a lot of these things too, there are demo guides in front of you. That some of these demos are in there, so you can actually take them back to your store, and these will be good demos you can show customers that will really help you guys kind of show them how what this device can do. Okay.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to see, with a new operating system, a lot of customers look at this, they've never really seen Windows before. They've never, if they knew Windows, it was the old start menu, completely different. Usually it had a stylus that went with it. This is brand new, like I said, a year and a half in, so for some customers it's going to be brand new. Some are going to be drawn to it, some are going to say, ooh, it's different from everything I've seen because Apple and Android kind of mirror themselves. But it's overcoming those objectives. If a customer says something, it's how you can build around that and how you can really familiarize the customer with the product. So you really got to understand the benefits and the wows. It's a very simple and easy to use phone. If you pick it up and you use it for an hour, you're going to feel very comfortable with it. It's not something where you're going to get lost inside of a menu. It's very simple. You have your home screen. I guess I'll just. So you have your home screen, which is all your tiles, and then you have one swipe over, and you can call it your menu or your root folder. Basically, anything that you download is going to go into this list right here. Okay? So it's very simple. You have one and you have two. If you want to take something from your menu, all you have to do is hold it down, and you can send it right over to the home screen. Pin it as a laptop. Exactly. Pin to start.
So you're going to have a device that's very user-friendly, that's very easy to use, that it's going to be a very good device for first-time smartphone users, someone taking that leap. Also, too, for example, personally, this phone was perfect for me. I was one of those that had a BlackBerry before I started working for Nokia, and then I got introduced to the Windows operating system, and I was like, where have you been? Because it was very easy to use for me. It was very easy to transition to a smartphone versus coming from a BlackBerry.
Absolutely. And it's important to know those trigger words that customers use where, I was a rep back in the day. I remember a customer coming to me and saying, you know, is there a way to make these icons bigger on the iPhone or on Android? They're too small. I want something that's a lot bigger. With the tiles, I mean, it's the biggest that you're going to find anywhere out there. I mean, everything's, you know, 1/2 an inch by 1/2 an inch. It's a very clean look, you know, very easy to find what you're looking for. You're not going to get lost in going through 7 different pages trying to find something. Everything's right there in front of you. Nice big icons. Some of the things that you're going to notice are some tiles are live. You can set certain ones like, obviously, your People Hub. It's important that when you set up the customer's device, ask them if they have Facebook, if they have Twitter. You can set that up inside the phone and have it fully integrated throughout so that when they're inside their contact list, they're able to do a number of things. They're going to see all their contacts, you know, alphabetically, but if they go over one, they're going to see a snapshot of what's going on inside the world of Facebook and Twitter. It's not really...
As well as LinkedIn.
As well as LinkedIn as well,
The 3 of
yes.
them can be socially integrated.
So it's more of a, you know, you're sitting there, you have 5 minutes, you just want to see what's going on. That's a great place to go in rather than launching the app, you know, looking through Facebook, then launching Twitter, looking through Twitter. You can get lost in there for a half hour and not even realize it. This is really easy because it puts it all into one, and you can just glide right through. Okay? And then, you know, more on the live tiles, you're going to see certain ones that are going to be constantly changing, like your weather. It says it's cloudy right now, then all of a sudden it turns, and now I've got the radar for my area. Okay? But some of the things to focus on when you are talking about the product, it is a 4.3-inch screen, AMOLED clear black display.
Does anybody know what clear black display means?
Super black.
Super black.
What are the benefits of a clear black display? Okay, so have you ever used a phone where it's a really sunny day, summer day, and you're trying to use your phone in the sunlight, and all you see is glare, you can't even see, you have to like kind of like hide your phone in the shade? Have you ever had to do that with a phone?
Yes.
Okay, the clear black display, the sun hits it and it doesn't shine back in your eyes. The way that they build it, it's about 3 layers, so the sun gets trapped inside the phone and then doesn't reflect back out. So you can actually take this phone out, as bright as it is right here, if I walk outside, it's going to look very similar. I'm not going to have that glare looking back at me and, you know, having trouble, you know, viewing the screen. So it's a huge thing. It's hard in a store, but if it is a sunny day and you guys do have the ability to walk right outside, show the customer. You know, say, hey, look at this.
You'll see it bright and right.
Yeah, and
like from previous experience, you're used to covering it up, and I just went like this. I was like, oh, I don't need it. It was, you could see everything. You know, I'm a big beach person. I want to see, you know, what everything's going on. I want to play music at the beach. So this is, you know, something that clear black display is really good for a very outdoorsy, you know, very someone that wants to be able to see what their phone is needs to or saying and doing and everything.
Exactly, and use your personal device, hold it side by side, and really show what the difference is. It's apparent. You're just going to see it, and you're going to know. You're going to be able to see the benefits right off the bat. The seamless polycarbonate unibody design. What this is, it comes in 3 colors. Obviously, you've got the white, the cyan, and the black. All of these are made out of polycarbonate plastic. What's nice about that is that it doesn't interfere with the signal coming out of the phone and, you know, connecting to the towers. Because there's no metal, because there's no glass. The bigger thing is that this black right here, there's no paint in it. It's all a dye. So the polycarbonate plastic was dyed black or dyed cyan and then molded to this shape. So what's nice about that is because paint actually has traces of metal in it, so that will also interfere with your signal. One of the biggest thing that we're hearing from upper management in AT&T, and it's been this way for years, is that drop calls. AT&T was synonymous with drop calls. Everybody said, oh, you know, the network's poor because, you know, you drop a call every 5 minutes. What they're seeing is that with this phone, there's no more drop calls. So it's kind of shedding light on, wait, for 4 or 5 years we've been blaming the network when actually it could have been the manufacturers using glass, using metal, using paint. Those are all things that are going to interfere with your signal, and they're going to result in some drop calls.
Also, too, it's you're going to have, if you ever scratch your device, I know I'm spaz. So it's going to be the same color. You scratch the blue, you scratch the cyan, it's going to be cyan. So that's another benefit where it's the same color all the way through.
You're not going to see silver underneath because it's, you know, the plastic's one color underneath. It's all the same thing throughout. What's really my favorite part, I mean, I talk about this all the time, is the battery. What good is a smartphone if it only lasts you for 4 hours? A lot of people do not have the luxury of charging their phone every couple hours. I know you guys all do. We do as well. it's a great benefit, but a lot of people are constantly on the go.